being a sports psychologist for you guys is good. I was going to ask you, how does it feel to represent Great Britain at the Olympics in such what is now a prestigious sport with British athletics? Because we do incredibly well in the velodrome, like consistently. It's not like we fluke it with one or two events. Like every single one of you that gets on that plane normally has a medal expectation when you're over there.
Yeah.
What's it like? What's it like being part of that squad?
There wasn't a single team that wasn't expected to bring home something.
Yeah.
And like most did again. But last time, I think I was the only rider that didn't bring home a medal last time. That was because I was reserved. This is in Rio.
Yeah.
I was reserved. So I was the only rider that went out there and didn't come back with a medal.
You're still part of that team. You're still part of that team.
I was part of it, yeah. But in a different way. But yeah, it's I was in a team with Jason Kenny, and he's like, the most greatest Olympian ever. Yeah. So
most decorated British Olympian, isn't it?
Yeah. So
sorry, Mike.
Our event got some extra media attention just based off that if he won a medal in my team sprint event, then that would put him above Chris Hoy as the Britain's most successful Olympian ever. And obviously we got silver. And so that was like a big story and some extra attention. I didn't really think about it in the heat of the moment. Obviously you're not thinking about it, but like there is a big expectation. Like, I mean, we've even had people sort of saying like the fact that we won silver instead of gold is an underperformance, when we know really, like, based on the way that our competition and our discipline has gone in the last 4 years, we set a national record and did the best time we've ever done. So we gave it our absolute best shot. But yeah, there's so much pressure to the extent that some people saw a silver as a failure, which is, it's on them really. But that's crazy.
That's their problem, not yours. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, they're trying to find something there, like, but that's it really. There's that big expectation around it. There's no doubt it's getting harder and harder. Other nations have picked up on the small benefits and gains, the marginal gains that British cycling have obviously put in the past, and we were having to get more and more creative to find new ways to stay up the top on the podium and competitive. But that's a new challenge in a way. I suppose that's how any sport evolves. There's always a pioneer, and then everyone sort of realizes that way of doing something is the best way, and often the original pioneer gets swallowed up by the competition again. So yeah,
just your job to stay out in front then as number one man. That's quite poetic in a way. I think somebody can find a metaphor. Somebody at the BBC can make an interesting 15-minute montage out of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just ask to narrate it. That's what you should do.
Their story next time undoubtedly is going to be around. We have Jason's just retired and become our coach. So like it's now he's been the most successful Olympian as a rider. There's going to be a new sort of spotlight on him to see how he performs as a coach. So yeah,
go on then. Give me the exclusive. What's it like having Jason as a coach after being? Do you ever just give him a bit of lip and just be like, what the fuck do you know?
It is quite funny because he's gone from being like, he was still training after the Olympics. He's gone from being a rider one day to coach the next. But he's handled it really well. Yeah, he's always like organized and, as you can imagine, competitively driven anyway.
Yeah.
And the most important thing as a rider is knowing that your coach is equally as invested as you. As long as you know that they're trying to drive you forward as much as you want to be driven forward, then a lot of other things fall into place. And he's definitely, we know that he has that. So yeah, he's slotted in pretty well so far. This is our first sort of training camp with him at the moment. It's running fairly seamlessly. So yeah.
Just in case he's on the other side of the door, like, yeah, Jason, top bloke. You're just looking off camera, like, did I say that right? Yeah.
Yeah, he's just there next to me. They're just like.
Good. I'm glad to see. Is he finding that balance between slowly filtering out from being one of the boys and going, I have to sort of put the coach's hat on now and be like, when it's time to work, it's my job to now say, boys, it's time to get to work, instead of having the laugh.
Yeah, there's gonna be a bit of that, but he's also there's a bit of a generation gap. He was, I don't want to butcher his age now, but yeah, he was at least about 8 years old, 7, 8 years older than most of the rest of us now that are left in the team.
So I make him 34, 33 type age.
I think he's like 33. Yeah, this is really bad now. You might. This is fine. Put it in the podcast.
What we'll do is I'll Google it. I'll then get you to send me a voice note, and we'll just cut the random. So we'll just get a clear bit of crisp audio. He goes, I think he's 33.
Yeah. The important thing is he's sort of more experienced, and he's from a different generation to a lot of the team. So obviously, I came up on mentioned I joined academy with Jack and Joe Truman, and then there's everyone else now is younger than us. So there's already there's a bit of an age gap there, and so we were learning from his experience before he became a coach anyway. Right. So I think it's easier for him to transition that way than say if I at the same age as one of the other guys in the team were to suddenly become the coach and have that authority. We've got the same amount of experience and everything as being riders, so it'd be probably a harder transition to make. But yeah, it's been no trouble for him so far.